fresh economic numbers suggest the American economy is slowing fast while inflation remains donkey stubborn high, raising the specter of that dreaded combination against which our generously compensated experts are powerless, stagflation. First, the numbers. New data says growth in the first quarter dropped by half, from 2.6% to 1.1%. Taking out rising government spending brings that to 0.3%, which is roughly how fast the population grows. In other words, the American economy is barely holding on, or as the New York Times dryly put it, the efforts to cool off the economy are having an effect. It gets worse if we look under the hood, because it turns out even that so-called growth is running on fumes. Because investment, the way we actually grow an economy and actually get richer, is falling. And it has been falling for a full year now. Meaning at this point, the only thing holding us above water is consumption, fueled not only by unsustainable government debt, but by unsustainable personal debt, digging holes in credit cards, buying essentials on installment. By the way, I've got a video on this, how 1 in 10 Americans is now buying their groceries on installment, which is pretty dire. Now, it's worth pausing to address the Keynesian fiction that consumption is how to grow an economy. It is not, because consumption is just what it says on the tin. It means using stuff up, which is nice to have, but if it's fueled by debt, it is not making us richer, it is making us poorer. So we don't have actual investment, we don't have new companies, new jobs, new innovations. In fact, we have mass layoffs and entire industries being banned as we speak, but at least we've got the debt. Now, one of the biggest shocks in the new numbers were inventories, which are plunging. This means companies are purging what they've got at any price they can get, suggesting they do not believe the consumer is anywhere near sustainable. So we're floating on debt, and the guys who know the consumer best can hear the clock ticking. Next up, the other piece of the stagflation nightmare, prices. New numbers yesterday showed the Fed's favorite measure of inflation came in at or above expectations. That was the 5th month in a row of upside surprise, and it suggests that inflation is nowhere near dead, which it should be given the Fed has just hiked rates at the most aggressive pace in 50 years, and we have the bank crashes to show for it, with First Republic's drama this week showing no sign of easing. Now, it's not just the U.S. Fresh numbers out of Europe show it limping along at 0.1%. It's actually lower than population growth, meaning they are getting poorer, while prices in the Eurozone are running at almost 7%, closer to 8% in once hard money Germany. So a specter is haunting the world, the specter of inflation. And standard policy tools, which means handing out trillions of dollars, do not work against stagflation. They actually make it worse. Meaning the only tool they have left is massive 1970s-style rate hikes that would likely crush the global economy, or, of course, tell their governments to spend less, which they will not do. All right, we'll be watching. See you next time.